Never was anything great achieved without danger. Whosoever desires constant success must change his conduct with the times. Everyone sees what you appear to be, few experience what you really are. If an injury has to be done to a man, it should be so severe that his vengeance need not be feared. It is better to act and repent than not to act and regret. A man who is used to acting in one way never changes. He must come to ruin when the times, in changing, no longer are in harmony with his ways. It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Appear as you may wish to be. Nature creates few men brave, industry and training makes many. He who builds on the people, builds on the mud. The lion cannot protect himself from traps, and the fox cannot defend himself from wolves. One must therefore be a fox to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten wolves. There is no other way to guard yourself against flattery than by making men understand that telling you the truth will not offend you. The first method for estimating the intelligence of a ruler is to look at the men he has around him. Men never do good unless necessity drives them to it, but when they are free to choose and can do just as they please, confusion and disorder become rampant. Everyone who wants to know what will happen ought to examine what has happened. Everything in this world in any epoch has their replicas in antiquity. A prince must not have any other object nor any other thought, but war, its institutions, and its discipline, because that is the only art befitting one who commands. My view is that it is desirable to be both loved and feared, but it is difficult to achieve both, and if one of them has to be lacking, it is much safer to be feared than loved. For one change always leaves a dovetail into which another will fit. The new ruler must determine all the injuries that he will need to inflict. He must inflict them once and for all. The vulgar crowd always is taken by appearances, and the world consists chiefly of the vulgar. There is nothing more important than appearing to be religious. It is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles. The promise given was a necessity of the past. The word broken is a necessity of the present. Of mankind, we may say in general they are fickle, hypocritical, and greedy of gain. He who wishes to be obeyed must know how to command. It must be considered that there is nothing more difficult to carry out, nor more doubtful of success, nor more dangerous to handle, than to initiate a new order of things. I'm not interested in preserving the status quo, I want to overthrow it. Never attempt to win by force what can be won by deception. Men are driven by two principal impulses, either by love or by fear. How we live is so different from how we ought to live that he who studies what ought to be done rather than what is done will learn the way to his downfall rather than to his preservation. Where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great. He who seeks to deceive will always find someone who will allow himself to be deceived. Since love and fear can hardly exist together, if we must choose between them, it is far safer to be feared than loved. Everyone sees what you appear to be, few really know what you are. There is no avoiding war, it can only be postponed to the advantage of your enemy. Men in general judge more from appearances than from reality. All men have eyes, but few have the gift of penetration. Wisdom consists of knowing how to distinguish the nature of trouble and in choosing the lesser evil. Therefore, it is necessary to be a fox to discover the snares and a lion to terrify the wolves. He who becomes a prince through the favor of the people should always keep on good terms with them, which it is easy for him to do, since all they ask is not to be oppressed. In conclusion, the arms of others either fall from your back, or they weigh you down, or they bind you fast. I hold strongly to this, that it is better to be impetuous than circumspect, because fortune is a woman, and if she is to be submissive it is necessary to beat and coerce her. Is it better to be loved or feared? Men sooner forget the death of their father than the loss of their patrimony. The fact is that a man who wants to act virtuous in every way necessarily comes to grief among so many who are not virtuous. Therefore, the best fortress is to be found in the love of the people, for although you may have fortresses, they will not save you if you are hated by the people. The incredulity of mankind, who do not truly believe in anything new until they have had actual experience of it. The best fortress which a prince can possess is the affection of his people. It's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Men are so simple and so much inclined to obey immediate needs that a deceiver will never lack victims for his deceptions. For he who innovates will have for his enemies all those who are well off under the existing order of things, and only lukewarm supporters in those who might be better off under the new. One who deceives will always find those who allow themselves to be deceived. A prince is also esteemed when he is a true friend and a true enemy. For, in truth, there is no sure way of holding other than by destroying. One must be a fox in order to recognize traps, and a lion to frighten off wolves. Those who simply act like lions are stupid. Men should be either treated generously or destroyed, because they take revenge for slight injuries, for heavy ones they cannot. He who is highly esteemed is not easily conspired against. For whoever believes that great advancement and new benefits make men forget old injuries is mistaken. A man who wishes to profess at all times will come to ruin among so many who are not good. Hence it comes that all armed prophets have been victorious, and all unarmed prophets have been destroyed. God creates men, but they choose each other. Which of the quotes do you like the most? Please leave a comment, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.